So, welcome to today's money. It's our fourth money class.
Yep.
Rich and righteous, spiritual wealth, material and spiritual wealth. So, I'm handing out $20,000 for many reasons if this is your first time, because we want to know what it feels like to hold 20,000. What's the thickness? What's the diameter? What does it feel like literally so that your sensory receptors inside your avatar, the body, can literally understand what it feels like. If you don't know what it feels like, it could be one step less of a challenge, to actually call that in. But now we know what it feels like. So doing this repetitive movement, even when you come to the center, like pick them up, count them, stack them. There's 100 grand. What does 100 grand look like? What does it feel like to count out 100 grand? And then when you're laying down at bedtime, go through and visualize stacking 10,000, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. What's the height of that look like? And you've already seen it here because, we've got these props. And essentially, if your brain goes, well, it's not real money. Well, is any money real? No, it's all printed paper. So yes, this is all the same printed paper money, right? The same trees, etc. It's printed paper. There may be a few differences, which we'll study. Maybe if we have time today, we'll really study a debt note, right? Just a debt note. It's not backed by anything. So it's literally just a form of exchange of a piece of paper that says it's holding this amount of energy. It's holding seemingly $100 worth of energy. And I am trading it for that which I would value to be $100, or someone else values their product or service to be $100. It is just a middleman. So we don't give too much power to it other than it's just middle. I literally could move this out of the way and get your service, and I give you my service, and we trade services. But we're not doing that in a sense because I want your service, but you're not looking at my service. You just would like to receive this stored energy into this paper money of $100, and I'm going to give you the $100, right? So, but coming back to this exercise, you can do that right as you're getting the theta state, morning and night, so that you could start to actually have that start to happen the next day. You'll notice more often the more you really are getting good at this, and you're in the now, meaning you're getting better in your days to not be thinking so much of the past or the future. You really are in now mode. And then all of a sudden, someone but coming back. So you've got the physical movement, you're building it into your projector, you're memorizing it. So then in the day, you'll notice that it becomes, as you're in the now moment, you actually get in that opportunity of here's the 100 grand because you actually built it into the projector. But what we're going to talk about today is I need you to believe it. I need you to believe that it's possible that you have something that you value, you are giving your value, I should say, that is worth 100 grand. Like some scenarios that you could actually go, well, that could happen. And some people need to maybe we're going to do some math around that. Maybe it's how many of this do I have to sell to equal 100 grand? And does it have to happen today? Sometimes people are signing up for your year-long course. And by the end of the year, so many people signed up. So in your head, it's like, well, that's doable. 100 people could sign up by the end of the year if I charged 10 grand. Do you see where we're getting at?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we need to understand the formulas, create the formulas. But more importantly, as a spiritual being, I need you to ask your God self, your I am presence. Is it possible, truly possible that we're bringing that in? Or it's not even that, is it possible? Show me the scene of where it is possible. Show me the scene. I'm literally receiving 100 grand today. How does that happen? Because all situations are happening right now. It is where are you actually embodying? So if I'm not embodying that being who literally receives the 100 grand today, what do I need to do or be or shift in myself to actually be that person today? So that will be another exercise we'll do.
And being that I'm not working, I don't have a business, I'm not a practitioner. I mean, I could do the same thing, correct?
Absolutely. Yours even more magical.
Okay.
You bring the piece of the puzzle in that I like to play with, the being, not the doing, because it's not always about doing. Sometimes you're just going to work with your logical, little self to well, I could do these things to get this, but yet spirit's going to throw you, a curveball and actually have you just sitting around being blissing out and you receive it anyways. Yeah.
I just did like math in regards to like the astrology certification program, right? And 100 grand. I mean, obviously I'd have to do like other math there, but it ended up being 33.333 feet. Like,
explain the numbers, because that's what I want you guys to do. So you
Yeah.
give me the example. Tell us.
So like, you know, I wanted to see how much was worth, how many clients would it take me to
Sell your product.
Yeah.
How much is your product?
It's
3,000.
Not including like the cuts.
Yeah,
or
just
anything
that's
like that.
fine.
Yeah.
30,000.
It's 3,000, and so what I did was I did 100,000 divided by 3,000, which is 33.33. So that would mean I would need a little bit more than 33 clients because of different, you know, like giving back to R3 and things like that. But still, the value is still 33.3 clients, so 34 clients.
Does that seem doable?
Yeah.
Right?
And that's just one scenario.
Yes.
Like, I could totally see 35 or even more clients coming in here to be an astrologer.
Another point, can I say this yet? Yeah. We're all millionaires. I mean, we're godzillionaires and we're billionaires on many levels. But looking at this middle plane of like the human experience, how many years do you say on average you're going to be facilitating something that receives money? How many years of your life, on average, would you say? You started working at 20, 15.
Yeah, I've already done
40 years.
I'm 71.
Okay, let's utilize your scenario. So we've got a real life example, 40 years. And on average, what was the average amount of income that came in? Just the average number over those 40 years.
I'm trying to think back that far.
What comes to you? 20,000 a month, 40,000?
40,000 a year.
Okay, so do the math. 40,000 a year times 40. How are you feeling?
Holy moly, 1,600,000.
So you're a millionaire.
Thank you.
You just circulated your money of those 40, you know, so that you already know that you have actually, this lifetime, you literally did go over that 1 million mark, right? Just, again, all these things kind of unwind the brain.
That way.
Then you can own it. Now, when you're saying I'm a millionaire, multimillionaire, you're not going, I'm just faking this. No, you literally are a multimillionaire that has circulated your money for good reason out to the collective. And you love that it comes back to you tenfold, right? Every time you circulate your money, it comes back to you tenfold. That's a great, easy thing that literally our social world, when I say that, it seems like something, yeah, I say that too. I hear that a lot. I say that too. You know, so it's easy when you tap into the mass mind of think that we're all already saying. If the most common was, I say, you know, comes back 100-fold, you know, it's good. As long as that's strongly in your subconscious mind, build out in your affirmations, you're saying yourself, it'll be 100. But I'm just telling you quicker ways that you can jump on the bandwagon, jump in the wheel, and literally utilize the mass mind programming that's going on when you say things that are common, like, you know, that comes back tenfold. Do any of you say that?
I do. I have.
Do you say 10-fold? Or what do you say?
I say what was on the poster.
Okay.
That's what I say.
Anybody else say? When you circulate money, it comes back to you tenfold?
I'm getting in that habit.
Are you using the 10? I'm just curious.
10 or 100, yeah.
Okay. Do you say that?
I mean, no, I don't say it. I've heard
Think
the concept.
Okay.
I guess I've thought of it.
Well, I do say, because I say the largest amount that's on that poster.
Okay.
That's what I use.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was at one point saying 10-fold, but then I said 100,000-fold.
So just be consistent. Well, each time I go think of a better one, I really am kind of like pausing for a moment. I have to rebuild. So it's good to get consistent on what you're saying. And that's why, you know, the more you can be consistent and love what you're saying. If it's not it yet, you notice that you're jumping around saying other things, like just really dial in to the one you can say consistently and that you believe. Because you don't have to like fight your own beliefs. If you don't believe it and you're saying it, it's like you need to do some clearing first before you even go any further with it, right? If it doesn't feel right, why doesn't it feel right when you say it?
I feel like with the tenfold, what comes up to me like is like this concept of tithing. And when I was in yeshiva, they talked about the magic of like tithing.
Yes.
On like, you know, giving back. And so when I think about it in that way, like when I thought about 100,000-fold, like if I'm a giver, I'm also a receiver too. But in order, like, I don't know, I just felt like when I look at it in that way of like giving back and helping and it's circulating and, you know, it's easy to go to that 100,000-fold.
If you have big goals as a righteous servant of the Most High, which is also, again, you're serving this God presence that you be.
Yeah.
If you have big goals, you got to bring in big money. If you don't have big goals for the collective, there's nothing wrong with you, then, the amount you're calling in is perfect. So it's just like, where are you at with it, and what are you doing with it? And can you actually, circulate or give out that amount of money? And is it necessary? It's just thoughts. This is us mastering literally the middle plane of working with money as a human, as a spiritual being on the material plane. We know, though, again, I just want to keep tying. I want to keep tying in, though. We know that this is not even necessary, and I can still do big acts. I can call in the most amazing, I've lived at the most amazing $1 million houses on Clearwater Beach that were practically gifted to me. It didn't require me to do anything other than the work of God. Like one I was, was called the Lighthouse, and I facilitated master cleanse retreats. And a business partner who I was told to tell, he said, I'll pay for it. I've had that several times. I'll pay for it. And I just show up and do what I'm here to do. So when you are in a divine alignment with the assignment, all the pieces come together so synchronistically. It's just like butter magic. You're just like, what is this place? This is so fun. So that's where I need you to understand the formulas that you get from within. So key, because the formulas that you get from the Most High, meaning you got a Most High assignment to deliver an astrology program, right? You've been training your whole life. You've dialed into so much magic and depth with your course, and now you're ready to give it. And it took a lot for you to get there. That's why I also have us look at, like, how much did it take for me to get here? Sometimes it was experiences, life challenges. Sometimes it was literally you paid for mentoring or coaching, or you went to college or whatever it was. Like, look at how much you put in to help you understand the value of, like, the money that you're being asked to charge for it. Right? So that's a good assignment. Something's got my throat.
And not just the
You need
money,
some
but
water?
the time and everything.
Yes, the time
The
is
amount-
valuable.
The amount of your energy you put into learning.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's huge. Your time, your lifetimes. If you've had past life memories of things that you had to go through to get here, to literally be in a time and age where you could facilitate plant medicine, plant magic, and talk about herbs, right? But I want you to get a formula, because meaning you're tuning in and you're saying, what is it that I'm meant to give? This gift, this talent, and this beingness. What am I meant to, be right now? And then what is the end goal? How much money is meant to come in for this experience, this allotment of working with this stuff? And it may not come in this form. It actually may come in just as a full gift of the whole place, but yet it's worth $3 million farm. This retreat is worth $3 million. And you thought, well, I was going to have to amass $3 million to get it. Nope. Someone literally, I get there, they're like, hey, you're here. We saw you in meditation last night. We've been waiting for you. Are you ready for these keys? And you're like, yeah, here's the keys to Brazil. Here's the farm retreat. You're the guardianship. We know who you are. And so God sees God and says, I know who you are. And they go ahead and you actually go forth because you're ready, you're willing. That means all those pieces of light particles literally are on the direct resonant match for the experience to be moved along on the show. Otherwise, it may be your part of your path literally to play with this stuff and understand that you can do it and that you can amass $3 million because you're going to have 99 people in the next year sign up for your astrology program on autopilot because you filmed it, and it literally is a product that you're selling for $3,000 from filming it once. So those are the type of details that you want to get. I'm going to guide us into meditation in a minute of how can I do it on autopilot? Doesn't need to be filmed. What are the details? And then how many of those things need to happen to get to $3 million by the end of the year? So first, let's just start with, can we start that now? Want me to bring that up? Okay, let me bring that up. What do you have to solve for people? They talk about people pain point or their challenge. What are you here to solve? And I'm just speaking to now in the sense of what if now meant this year? What are you here to solve? Who are your people? What's your tribe of people to solve their issues by what you give? And again, I'm speaking to you in the sense that you have a lot to give through your presence. That's why we call it presence practitioner. because your presence in the field of who you be, literally also, you may be asked to sit somewhere every day for the next year at a park bench. And that's going to bring in that $3 million because of you being the willing participant, almost like an angel. You know how they say that angels can't help you unless you ask for their help,
Right.
and you're an intermediary, like a channel. They're needed. Like you actually being a human angel or eternal soul who knows who you are, you're needed to actually sometimes sit and hold space for light to be facilitated into an area and for it to lift and shift or be activated by taking a road trip. And that in itself is worth a lot of amassed money, especially if you're willing, you're worthy, you have a lot of self-love, and you got the formula already. The formula said, I'm going to do this, and this amount of money is coming, or a farm's coming. It may be worth, right? So do you know, tune in before I have us do this exercise. Let me know if you know who your tribe is. Like, who are you meant to be working with? And there could be several topics. So like, we're just dialing into one category for one experiment today. If you could start with, do I know? Yes. Okay, what is it? If I don't know, please help me know it. Bring me a symbol. And then ask if you're complete. Is everybody complete? Open your eyes if you're complete. Close your eyes if you're still going.
Just writing.
Okay, write it out if you got it. Say it to yourself a few times if you don't have something to write on. Do you want something to write on? Okay, so everybody's eyes are open. Tell me what you got. Anything that you don't have to say the whole thing, but just something so like we can ground this in. Who are your people? Anyone willing to listen? Other healers?
My people. I don't know. It could be any.
Anyone?
Yeah.
People of the mindset of being kind and generous and giving.
People of the mindset. I love that. Being kind,
Yeah,
generous, and
that's what I
giving.
want to be.
Yeah, and you are.
Thank you.
Yes. Deeper connection. You're a philanthropist. We're all philanthropists. We think, oh, a philanthropist, you know what a philanthropist is? They give large sums of money to help causes. Mm-hmm. Well, we now know that money is light, right? It's energy. And we all give kindly our energy. So we're all philanthropists. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So now you got your people, right? We're just going to work with these pieces of puzzle. Then we're going to I'll put it all together. What is the amount of money by the end of this year that spirit, that your I am presence wants you to align to for this project? And remember, it might not come in the form of money. It might come in the form of other things that's worth that. But I want you to dial into a number from your I am presence by the end of this so-called year, Gregorian calendar year. And then write it down if you do have pen and paper. And you could confirm it, did I get that right? Hey,